Hello, I'm Francesca Whitworth and I'm going to present a PowerPoint presentation on human nutrition and the digestive system. I'm going to discuss the functions and structure of the digestive system, the process of mechanical and chemical digestion, including the optimum conditions for the enzymes involved, also the constituent food groups that make a balanced diet. The two main functions of the digestive system are digestion and absorption. This happens when food is broken down into small molecules when it is then absorbed into the body, providing us with energy and nutrients. This is the body's growth process and cell repair, as well as the metabolism. Our system has a digestive tract, which is a continuous tube with two openings. This starts from the mouth and ends at the anus and can also be referred to as the alimentary canal. Let's take a look at the structure and the functions of the digestive system more closely. Starting from the mouth, this includes the teeth and the tongue. The mechanical breakdown is performed when the teeth chew the food and the tongue and saliva mix the food together during mastication. This rolls it into a bolus and passes it down to the esophagus. Saliva consists of water and mineral salts that can be slightly alkaline, keeping the mouth moist and helping soften the food. It moves on to the pharynx. So before the esophagus, the pharynx receives the bolus of food, which is involuntarily swallowed due to the muscular wall pushing the food over the epiglottis, which is closed off, and then onto the esophagus. This extends from the pharynx through to the diaphragm into the stomach and is about 25 centimetres long. The liquids and semi-solids slide down the esophagus by gravity, where solids are moved downward by peristalsis onto the liver. This is located on the right side of the abdomen, just below the diaphragm, and produces a yellow-green fluid called bile, containing water, salt, cholesterol. It leaves the liver through the bile ducts and travels to the gallbladder, where it is stored. So the gallbladder is a pear-shaped sac that attaches to the liver and stores bile, helping it to digest fat. It moves to the stomach, which is a hollow-shaped muscular organ situated down lower near the diaphragm. Its muscular coat churns the food and mixes it with gastric juices for it to digest food. The bolus of the food produces a fluid named chyme. This contains water, hydrochloric acid, mineral salts, enzymes and intrinsic factor, which is needed to absorb vitamin B. Hydrochloric acid helps digestion and destroys bacteria. The digestion of a meal normally takes around 2 to 4 hours, which is then passed into the small intestine. So this is around 6 to 7 metres in length, and where most of the digestion and absorption takes place. It's separated into 3 parts known as the duodenum, jejunum and the ileum. The chyme is moved by peristalsis along with the pancreatic and intestinal juices until digestion is complete, and the end product is absorbed through the walls of the villi into the large intestine. The large intestine is about 1.5 metres, which makes it smaller than the small intestine, but it is thicker. Its role is to absorb vitamins and process food into feces, as well as removing the water. The chyme enters the large intestine and mixes it with good bacteria. The large intestine has 4 sections: the ascending colon, where the process of removing water and nutrients begins; transverse colon, the longest and most movable part of the colon; the descending colon, which stores feces and removes it by the rectum; and the sigmoid, which is last section, and it has a muscular wall which contracts and creates pressure for the stool to move into the rectum. The rectum acts as temporary storage, and feces is located at the end of the digestive system, which then leads to the anal canal, which is the last part of the system, where the feces are excreted through the digestive tract. So bodies can absorb large molecules and are unable to use them, so they are broken down into smaller units. This happens through a combined process called mechanical and chemical digestion. So chemical digestion starts in the mouth, where the teeth and saliva break down the food into small particles through mastication, while the tongue mixes food around. The food is swallowed and travels to the stomach, where it's churned into chyme. The stomach contracts and the stomach secretions, where it liquefies, moving to the duodenum of the small intestine, where absorption happens, and also peristalsis, when the muscles soften and they contract. So the chemical digestion also starts in the mouth, where it releases enzymes and saliva. Once saliva is produced, it is triggered by the brain. It enables moisture to the food, making it easier to swallow. The digestive enzyme called amylase is found in saliva and breaks down starch into the mouth, changing it into glucose, which is also referred to as sugar. The enzyme assists in absorption, acting as a catalyst, speeding up the process. of the digestive system. Once food is swallowed, the muscles push it to the pharynx and epiglottis, where it travels through the digestive tract, and peristalsis also happens again. Enzymes work better at certain environments, helping process food's constituent molecules. They have their own optimum conditions, such as temperature. Human body's temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, which is the optimum temperature for enzymes to work best at. They also have pH levels, which measure acidity and alkalinity on a scale of 1 to 14. Unlike temperature, pH levels change depending on where the enzymes are in the body and giving their own specific nutrients. Looking at the table here, two examples of enzymes are pepsin and lactase. So pepsin is secreted from the gastric glands in the stomach, creating small proteins called peptides. It's created when the hydrochloric acid and gastric juices are mixed together, which was discovered by Theodore Schwann in 1836. The pH level for pepsin is worked best at the ranges 1.5 to 1.6. Lactase is found in the lining of the small intestine. It breaks down lactose and processes it into sugars such as glucose and galactose. The enzyme for lactase is best worked at an optimum level of 6. So constituent food groups of a balanced diet consist of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals and water. The National Food Guide was set up by the government and recommendations providing a healthy diet as seen in the chart at the side. So it's recommended that they have 55% carbohydrates, 15% protein, 20% unsaturated fats and 10% saturated fats, as shown in the Eat Well guide that has also been provided by the government as well. These are recommended for adults and children over the age of 5 to have a balanced diet following the group as shown here. So group 1 is meats, fish and alternatives, protein, fibre, vitamin B12. Group 2 is bread, pasta, potatoes and cereals, giving carbohydrates, starch and energy, keeping us full longer. Group 3 is giving us 5 fruit and vegetables a day, gives us vitamins, minerals, fibre and lowers our cholesterol. Group 4, dietary alternatives, healthy teeth, bones, calcium and protein. 5 is all spreads, a lot of fatty sweets and cakes, unhealthy things like sugars and fats can cause health problems in the future like diabetes and heart problems. Water, we're recommended to have 8 glasses a day, keeps us hydrated. We lose a lot of water from sweat, urine and breathing. It restores our body temperature and it transports nutrients and oxygens to our organs. So to summarise, we've talked about the digestive system, process of chemical and chemical digestion, the importance of healthy balanced diet. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.